Hello everybody and happy November. Today I'm going to be doing two looks using the new Raven's Revenge palette from CXC Beauty. The full collection, you can buy all of these products separately, and they also, what I like about CXC Beauty is that they also offer many sizes of, I want to say all of their palettes, so that if you don't want to buy the full size or you just want to try the brand, they do offer like the 9-pan palettes. So like I mentioned, this did come with 3 lipsticks. Each of these individually do retail for $19, or you could buy the full bundle for $51. So first shade that we got, mine kind of came broken. We do have a deep black shade. Black is a deep color, Taylor. Then we also have like this really beautiful kind of plum red color. And then finally, we did also get like this kind of orangey kind of terracotta color. I think this is a really pretty color. On the website though, this almost looks like a bright red, but in person it's not. And then it also came with the Slick lip gloss right here. So I don't know if you guys can tell. Yep. It has some like really pretty sparkle in it. I've never actually tried any of their lip products, so I'm interested to see how these are. They feel really creamy. Here are all of the colors swatched. That orange one kind of matches my sweatshirt today. But these are incredibly creamy, so I'm excited to give these a try. I do really like all of these colors. I would definitely wear all of these. I really like kind of out there type of lipsticks. I don't necessarily just reserve black for the fall or Halloween season, but that's just me. I know black is very much not everybody's taste, but that's okay. I think that they are fun colors to still have. I think my favorite color though is going to be this absolutely beautiful kind of plum color. I think that that lip gloss over the black would be really pretty too. And then finally, moving on into the palette, I do believe that the owner curated the cover on their own, which I really like the cover art, that very like dark and mysterious. And then this right here is the inside color story. I think that this is absolutely beautiful. I really love the mix of greens and purples. I love combining those two shades together. And then on the back, you do have your shade names right here. And it says, introducing the Raven's Revenge palette, a stunning 21 shade eyeshadow collection designed to evoke mystery and power with an array of deep, moody mattes and enchanting shimmers. Each shade, from the haunting moonlit to the sinister dark magic, delivers intense pigment and smooth blending. Perfect for creating eerie, dramatic looks or soft, shadowy eyes, this palette is inspired by the dark elegance of ravens and the allure of the unknown. Whether for day or night, Raven's Revenge is your key to spellbinding beauty. Now, when I swatched this palette, I did not use a primer underneath. I do believe that the owner tends to swatch with a primer underneath, which is what they typically recommend. So I don't really take the swatches in this particular palette, or really any palette, with a grain of salt, just because really how they perform on the eyes is overall what matters, and I do use eye primers on my eyes. But I will insert up here a picture of the swatches from the owner so that you can kind of see what the difference is. But I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys on in, and we'll get started on two looks using this palette. Alrighty, not really sure what look that I want to do today. I do know that between the two looks, I do want to play with a few of the like duo and multi-chromes that are in this palette. So I think there's not really a lot of like lighter like blending shades in here, but I think to start with, I'm going to go into this gray shade up here, and this is called Raven, and I'm just going to put that in my crease. Like I mentioned, I do have a couple other CXC Beauty palettes. I just kind of randomly discovered them one day on Instagram, and this palette on its own retails for $59. I kind of just randomly discovered them on Instagram, and a couple of other beauty YouTubers that I really like had reviewed some of their palettes, and I decided to purchase. I think I purchased 4 of them in one go. One of them was like a bundle deal, so I got some money off. And I do, for the most part, like their quality. I will say, like earlier, their swatches really are not the best in my personal opinion, but I really don't base everything or really anything off of swatches, period, because how it performs on the eyes is more important than how it swatches on my arm. This is actually one of those shades that I don't think swatched very well, but it's laying down really nicely. What I do like about CXC's formula is that it is buildable on pretty much all of their matte shades. So I think these palettes are pretty easy to work with. And if you guys visit their website, they do have some really beautiful color stories in a lot of their palettes. Yep, that shade laid down really nicely. Didn't have any problems with that whatsoever. And then the Next shade that I'm going to go in with to kind of deepen that up and add a little bit more color is this shade right here. And I believe that this is called Bewitched. I'm just going to also add that to my crease. I'll probably go in with the plum lipstick for this look. I really like that color combination. I think that's really pretty. Kind of turn like that wine color into more of like a purpley gray color. I think that's really pretty. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this beautiful kind of plum shade down here. This is called Haunting, and I'm going to put that in my outer corner. I might actually do a halo eye today, so I'm going to put that into the inner and outer corner. A little bit of fallout with this shade. I really like that color. I'm going to blend that shade out. I'm going to lay some NYX glitter primer on my lid, and we'll be right back. So I'm going to attempt to go in with 3 shimmers, and this might be an interesting color combination, so we'll see how this turns out. But the very first shade that I'm going to go in with next to the blue shade is this one right here, and this is called Witchcraft. I love indie brands. I just wish that they weren't so expensive, but I mean, what isn't expensive nowadays? I saw that Bella Beauty bar just restocked their Secret Garden palette, so I did pick that up, and I'm super, super excited because I've been eyeballing that palette for quite a while. There's a couple other CXC Beauty palettes that I want to. One of them's like a ocean themed one, so it has kind of like the sandy, like the blue water and like sandy colors in it, so I might pick that up at some point as well. And then the next shade that I'm going to go in with is this absolutely beautiful kind of pink to green duochrome right here. And I believe that this is called Grimoire. I'm going to set that next to that shade. Ooh, I really like that color combination. That's gorgeous. Very kind of like witchy type of look. And then the very last shade that I'm going to go in with on top of that here in the center is this really pretty kind of pink to white shade, and this is called Moonlit. I'm going to place that right in the center. Shade is a little ever so slightly dusty. Might use this for the inner corner and brow bone highlight as well. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and do the other eye off camera and finish off the rest of my makeup, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and finish off the lower lash line. And I think to do that, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and this is called Spectre. A little bit darker than I thought it would be. All right, and then for the inner corner and brow bone highlight, I'm going to go in with that lightest middle shade that I used right here, and I am going to spray the brush. The only thing I'm not a fan of is how crumbly this shade is, but so far that's been the only one that has been crumbly. I did have 2 shades in this palette that did come in broken, so before filming I did press them down with alcohol. They swatched just like the other shades did, so I don't think they'll be a problem to use. Right, and then I'm going to go in with a purple ColourPop liner in the shade Visuals, and I'm just going to run that in my waterline. Alrighty, I'm just going to do my mascara, and we'll come back and we will put on the lipstick. Alrighty, and I feel like an idiot, so the print on this lipstick is unbelievably small, and it really looks like it says bruh. But going on the website now that my internet is working, the shade is called Bruja, so excuse my error earlier. I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Flattered and line my lips, and then we'll put on the lipstick. That lipstick is unbelievably creamy. I think too creamy to the point to where, not in a bad way, but too creamy to the point that you are definitely going to need a lip liner. But it's extremely comfortable to wear. I also do want to go in with the lip gloss on top of that. Alright, you guys, and this is the final look number 1. I'm very happy with how this turned out. This is wholeheartedly my vibe when it comes to makeup, just the very dark and vampy. I think the eyeshadow is absolutely beautiful. I love that brighter shade over the multi-chrome, and I absolutely love this lipstick. I think this is absolutely beautiful. The only thing I do not like is the feeling of this lip gloss. It is not sticky, it's very smooth, but I do not like this kind of gritty, glittery sensation that I have on my lips when I rub them together. But otherwise, so far, I'm very impressed with everything. So I will see you guys tomorrow for look number 2. Oh, you guys, I am so tired today. But alas, the show must go on. So today I think that I'm going to play with these beautiful green and browns in here. So I'm going to do the typical thing that I like to do. I think that I'm going to go in with half of the green, half the brown, and make a look from there. So on the outer portion, I'm going to do the brown, and on the inner, I'm going to do the green. So first shade that I'm going to go in with is this light brown shade right up here, and this is called Forsaken. Kind of helps to do your brows and primer. So now I'm going to go into that brown Forsaken shade and run that on the outer portion of my crease. I like doing the two-toned looks. I don't know. I think it looks really pretty. I will try to start incorporating more kind of neutral looks. I do have some neutral palettes that I do want to try out. I know that the overly bold and colorful is not for everybody, and I'd like to do a little bit of everything, so I will have some neutral looks coming up in the future. I do have a couple more videos that I need to film. One of them is at the request of one of my subscribers, so I will be having one of those videos going up later on this week, and it will be 2 or 3 looks using the Nomad Verona palette. Really love that palette. This is a really beautiful brown shade, kind of like a taupey kind of color. It's blending out really easily, very soft color. I personally love the combination of like green and brown or brown and blue. I think brown typically goes with a lot of different colors. So on the inner portion, I'm going to take kind of this mid-green shade right here, and this is called Eye of Newt, and I'm going to run that on the inner portion of my crease. I was kind of thinking on doing like a video on beginner-friendly color looks, since I know a lot of people are intimidated by color, or they don't like color, or don't necessarily know how to incorporate little pops of color into their makeup. So I was planning on doing the video kind of like that. Really like this kind of swampy green type of color, blending out really nicely. I'm probably going to go in with mostly just shimmers on my lid today, but to darken both of those up, I'm going to take another brown and green. So I'm going to take these 2 shades right here, and these are called Goblin and Grave, and I'm just going to darken those shades up just a little bit. I'm just going in very lightly, just slowly building up those colors. Not worrying too much if it comes down onto my lid, because I'll be covering that with shimmers. Shades are blending out really nicely. I really like those 2 colors. All right, I'm going to blend those out with those first 2 shades that I used, and I'll be right back, and we'll put on some of these shimmers. Right, I went ahead and laid down some NYX glitter primer, so I think that the first shade that I'm going to go in with is this kind of browny red shade right down here, and I believe that this is called Dark Magic, and I'm just going to put that on the outer corner. Also another kind of semi-crumbly shade, but I think that that's really pretty. I love the tone of this. Ooh, I really like that. All right, now I think probably going to be one of my favorite shades in the palette. I'm going to go into this beautiful kind of duochrome green shade right down here, and this is called Brew. I love Halloween themed palettes. I wish brands would do more of them, but I know that Halloween is not everybody's cup of tea. A little bit of fallout with this shade as well, even with the primer. It's not terrible. It's a really beautiful shade. And then the last shade that I'm going to go in with is this really beautiful top one right here, and this is called Cursed. It's like a lighter version of that one that I just laid down. It's really pretty. I really like how that looks. Definitely a lot softer than the look yesterday, but all right, a little bit of fallout from all 3 of those shades, but nothing terrible. Y'all know the drill. I'm going to finish everything off, do the other eye off camera, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So I decided that I'm going to use one of the shades in here as a liner. I don't like upper lash line eyeliner when it's in like pens or the gels, just because I don't have a lot of lid space. So something that I like to do is I'll either take like a flat brush, or I'll take kind of like one of these liner brushes, and I'll kind of swipe that along the upper lash line. So all I'm going to do is take the black shade right here, and this is called Revenge, and I'm just going to run that right along my upper lash line. I will sometimes use like the water activated liners, but for the most part, if I do liners, I'll usually do just that as my eye look with some mascara, and then my lips will usually be the focus for that look, just simply because I don't have a lot of real estate up here on my eyes. And the other thing that I like about using eyeshadow is that it's a little bit more of a softer type of look. So I think you should be able to tell the difference between this eye and this eye. Just kind of adds a little bit of oomph for when I put on my mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye and I'll add my mascara. Okay, there was quite a bit of fallout from that shade, so I really hope this doesn't smear when I take this off. I don't have a light enough shade in here to use for my inner corner and brow bone highlight, so I'm just going to take the highlighter palette that's sitting next to me, which is going to be the Lunar Beauty Moonshroom palette, and I'm just going to go in with this shade right here, and this is called Sugar. I absolutely love this highlighter palette. I use it all the time. If Manny sold this shade separately, I'd probably buy like 5 or 6 of these. Just so beautiful. All right, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to use the 2 lightest brown and green shades in here, except I'm going to do them in reverse. So instead of doing brown here, I'm going to do green, and instead of green here, I'm going to do brown. All right, I think I'm just going to take a black liner to my waterline. I'm going to finish off my mascara, and we'll come back and we'll do the lips. Ready? So the eyes are done, and I really like I said, doing the black eyeshadow as kind of like my upper lash line eyeliner. I think that it gives like a really soft but more full look. This is also kind of why I don't really wear lashes, just because I don't have a lot of space, and if I do wear lashes, it typically covers up my eye look. So this is kind of my in-between, and I really like how this looks. So we're going to go ahead and dive on into the lips. If I can find my black lip liner, I am going to use the black. So where you be? There you are. All right, I'm just going in with another ColourPop lippy pencil in the shade Bull Chic. I look like I have a moustache. Going into the black, I might not add the lip gloss on top. We'll see after I put this on. I'm going to go in with the lip gloss. I'm just going to add just a little bit of it because I really do like the way that this looks just without the lip gloss. Okay, in person it did add just like the slightest hint of red, but I don't think you can really tell on camera. But this is going to be the final look number 2, and I personally really love it. I love a black or a very bold lip. If you guys have been watching some of my videos, you already know this. But I'm very happy with how this look turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys on out, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts and opinions on the CXC Beauty Raven's Revenge palette. I am super happy with how this looks. I love bold lips, and I absolutely love green eyeshadows. But anywho, when it comes to this collection, I'd say overall, for the most part, I really do like it. The lipsticks we'll start with. These are unbelievably creamy. There's a very nice shine to them even without the lip gloss. They are unbelievably comfortable to wear, and they are extremely hydrating. As I said yesterday, I highly recommend going in with the lip liner because even when I was just swatching these, they were starting to already bleed out from where I had applied them. But really, really like this formula. I'd be very interested on trying more of their bullet lipsticks. And then regarding the gloss, I do like this gloss. I like the fact that it's very smooth and like slippery when you apply it, and it's very like lightweight and it's very comfortable to wear. The only complaint, like I said, is I feel like the shimmer in here is actually like actual glitter because it is kind of gritty on your lips. So if you're in a texture avoidance type of person, this is probably not for you. But otherwise, it is comfortable, and unless you are actively rubbing your lips together, you're not going to feel it. But I really do like this color, and I think it's a very complimentary color for all 3 lipsticks. And then moving on into the palette, I really love the cover art on this. I really like the acrylic kind of outer packaging that they have. This is the same type of outer packaging component that all of their products come in, and then typically like the white that you see right here, you can usually on most of their palettes choose between a white or a black. So I do really like this cover art. This speaks to the darkness of my soul. And then when we open it on up, I personally really love this color story. I love the greens, and I love the mixture of like the reds and the purples in here. You are able to make some kind of neutral-ish looks in here with the brown, or like some soft type of green and purple looks. The owner always does their swatches with a primer underneath, so when it comes to CXC Beauty, I would not take the swatches for what they are, but I think that they perform really nicely on the lids, and I typically go in with primers regardless of the shadows that I'm using, just because that's what I like to do. I say that this palette performed really nicely. The mattes blended out really well. They built up really nicely. I really do like all of the shimmers that I used. The multi-chromes in here were very soft. So yeah, overall, I really like this collection and I'm very happy to be adding it. Definitely plan on picking up some more of these products at some point. But thank you guys for watching another one of my videos today. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I do tend to upload pretty frequently throughout the week, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.